The day before Lies and Deceit. Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, they actually do. Today I'm going to showcase every single thing that is missing in the game. And the reason why I'm saying it's missing is because the first official trailer actually had these items in the game. How could a trailer be generated if these things aren't missing in the current state? Let's get started with the first one, which is dynamic weather. As you guys are noticing right here, the character is walking, and as the character is walking on this beautiful city of New York, you're going to notice that there is snow falling in the city. You also will notice one more thing, which is dynamic day and night cycle, because as you currently know, when you play the game, you play it during the day. And look at this beautiful night scenery, beautiful lights, beautiful cop cars. Everything is lit. Even we got a Christmas tree and everything. Where is that in the game? Number 2. And for this one, I'm going to ask you to turn your headset on because you're definitely going to want to hear this radio announcement.
You can hear this message. It means that we have opened our doors for new survivors. We can give you food and shelter and ensure your safety. Here are the coordinates.
Did you hear that?
Yep, I got a message too.
Would you look at that? The radio actually works in the cop car. But hey, go open up cop car right now. The radio, it looks like someone went and jacked the radio, man. It looked like someone went and stole the radio. Who was it, man? Give it back. It was one of you people in Woodbury, wasn't it? Or maybe it was one of the fantastic devs. They stole the radio. All right, moving on to the next one. We have audio proximity chat. As you guys see here, guys, there is a big battle, a big engagement. I'm telling you one thing, if this game actually had proximity chat, even in this really bad state, I mean, people would still be playing it because this would be one of the coolest things in the game, to be honest, because it would be so trolly. But let me have you hear the proximity chat.
Let's pick up some supplies and get out of here.
Let's check it out.
Oh shit, got company. Could use some help now.
All right, the next one we have, guys, it's the same battle in the store. As you guys see, this man lobs a grenade. He throws a Kobe. And what does the Kobe do? It makes things blow up. There's physics. There's collision happening in the game. Things are flying around. I haven't seen anything else flying around except our money, man. But that's about it, boys, because we've been throwing it at the screen. I'm telling you, when we saw this trailer, it's like, where do I throw this money? Take my money. And this is what they took. So this next one, guys, is going to be the mechanic when it comes to opening the door. As you guys see here, the door is being opened. This is opening the door while sprinting. Try to sprint to a door if you're playing the game and see what happens. Let me know what happens, guys, because you apparently can't open the door like that. And that actually looks like a very dope mechanic. Within the same scene, guys, we're going to notice one more thing. As soon as he bolts through the door, you're going to notice that the cloth that he has on him has a physics spring as well. So you're going to notice that the cloth actually moves as he moves through the door. So that's going to give you physics of your clothes. Now, apparently your clothes ain't moving. When you're playing the game, it doesn't move. All right, so the next thing we're going to be looking at here, guys, is the zombie behavior. As you guys notice here, when you shoot the zombie actually gets staggered. He gets pushed back a little with the gun. Apparently the ones that are in the game, you shoot him and it looks like you threw him a piece of candy because they start rushing you. And boy, do they consume a lot of bullets, man. You waste a lot of clips trying to shoot them zombies. All right, this next one is pretty self-explanatory because I can guarantee you no one in the game that is currently playing right now has seen this many zombies. I don't even think we've even seen more than 2 piled up or more than 3, but I have never, ever seen this amount of zombies. Even after the update that they pushed on the 8th, when they said that they're going to add more zombies, I want to know where these zombies are at. Because what building is this? What location? Can you give me the GPS location where to find these zombies? Because apparently they went on a break. Apparently it's more like these zombies just released the game and they're dipping, bro. They're leaving the office. They're leaving the office in a hurry. All right, so you guys know one of the most annoying things in the game is trying to get to the top of certain rooms. Like if you go to the police station, you want to get a floor 3 and 4. There's an elevator and there's stairs, but there's no way to get up there. So you kind of look for the elevator, like, where's the elevator? Well, would you look at this? There is a functioning elevator. So apparently there's a way to get to the 2nd, the 3rd, and 4th floor. But unfortunately, the elevators are broken in the build that we currently have. But hey, guess what? It was working during the trailer. The elevators actually work. I mean, I see him in the elevator. I hear him hit the button. I see the door closing. I see the door opening. Something is completely wrong. Why is this elevator working and why is the other one not working? I want to know. All right, so here's another really cool one, guys. As you guys know, we have workbenches currently in the game, and you kind of have to find them, right? But there was a very cool mechanic that was also in the commercial. I was going to say the commercial, in the trailer, and that was actually being able to craft stuff while you were in the working elevator. Okay, so you were able to craft a bandage. If you had the items, you were able to craft this, and you didn't have to go to a workstation. You didn't have to go anywhere because you could literally craft this in a safe area to get back into the game. Unfortunately, that crafting mechanic is nowhere to be found. Now, here's a very interesting one because remember, they said that the game, you were going to be able to play the game for 24 hours. You could actually stay within the city of Woodbury for 24 hours. And apparently you can, but not in the current build that we have, because you could even have a sleeping bag you could get off of your backpack, lay it down on the floor, and take a nap. Not only are we missing the sleeping bag, but we can't take a nap. Like, what is going on? I want to get my CCZs. All right, so now that we have ourselves the sleeping bag, you were actually able to camp inside an apartment. So you were actually able to set up tent. You were able to be like, you know what? I'm going to camp the night here. I'm going to chill. I'm going to hold down this building because there's a big sort of zombies outside and I don't want to go outside. I'm just going to kick it inside the building and wait for everything to happen. And no. The only way you could kick it in the building is if the game doesn't crash. All right, the next one we have is actually a pretty cool one, and that is an animated finish. So you were able to get an animated finish on a person you downed. The person would go down on the floor, start crawling, and then you were able to do an animation finish. Kind of like if you were playing Call of Duty and you want to do a finishing move, you were actually able to do that. It seems to me that instead of us going forward and adding stuff, we're just every single time removing and removing. Remember that really cool car, guys, in The Walking Dead? You were able to have one of those, guys. Check this out. You have a drivable one. This one looks super duper dope. This tank slash car looks amazing. And I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, I can't wait to actually get my hands on this. And I'm still waiting. All right, so now check this out, guys. You were able to run with your buddies and go through this terrain, which was in the woods. And while you were driving through this terrain with your Jeep, you actually were slowed by mud. So you would go through mud and the mud would actually slow you, which would make sense. Imagine this scenery, guys. Imagine you guys are trying to get away. There's a sort of zombies following you. You're driving as fast as you can and you run into this mud and you start freaking out because you see the zombies getting closer and closer. And boom, a tire pops. You got to get out. You and your buddy got to figure out, do they come back and save you? Do they keep leaving? Do you leave the car? Do you get down and fix the tire? So many beautiful scenarios that could have happened with this, man, but it's not in the game. All right, the next one, guys, is the same vehicle that we are watching, but this time we see the mud displacement. As you see, the mud is stuck in the tires, and the mud is being kicked out by the car, which is kind of really cool. This one I'm pretty sure you guys have seen in the majority of the trailers that we usually show this every single time, and that is the ability to having binoculars, because apparently there was players in this game, a lot of them, and there was also zombies that you needed to look out for. I guess they removed them because they reduced the amount of zombies and they reduced the amount of PvPing, so you really don't need binoculars. But yeah, there was binoculars in the game. All right, so this particular mechanic seems to be in the game, but it seems to be in the game in a very weird way. This mechanic is pretty much a zombie playing possum, pretending he's dead, and when you open the door to try to loot the door, the zombie actually comes and kills you, and he tries to grab you and take a bite out of you. Now, in the game current state, they just randomly appear out of the car. Like, they just boop, boop, pop out. And you're like, oh crap, what the heck happened? Where'd the zombie come from? It's like, what's going on here? Well, I mean, this is what was going on, just that, you didn't see him sleeping. All right, so in this next one, guys, we're going to see the behavior of the zombies. They had a different behavior when an alarm went off. So they would be getting alarmed by the gunshots. So they would behave it differently, right? This one is the one that it kind of upset me the most, which is this bolting. So there was bolting in the game, and apparently the bolting was removed for some apparent reason, and they thought, you know what would be the best way to actually make this game even more enjoyable? Well, let's remove bolting, because why would you want to bolt over an item when you're being chased by zombies? Let's just have them get stuck as they're running. That way it makes it a little bit more challenging. The other one that kind of threw me off a little bit, and the one also had me really upset, is the climbing. So how do you not have climbing in a game where you gotta escape from zombies and you gotta move around the map and you gotta get into higher areas? That's removed as well, because you can't vault, you can't climb. This next one's pretty interesting because just thinking of the way this would work, and that is the ability to be turning off the breakers on and on. So you were able to turn on the light and turn the light off. And as you guys know, this game was meant to be like as darker and more night came, more zombies would come out. Unfortunately, I guess they decided to remove this because, you know, the night never happens and the zombies never appear. This next one, guys, is actually another really cool one. You were able to repair the tire, but you were able to repair it with a crafting kit. So there was crafting kits in the game that would allow you to repair the tire of the game, which would make it even more challenging and more dynamic. The other one, guys, is we have once you repaired your car, you were actually able to destroy the fences as you were driving. So you were able to, run through the fences, and there would be a physics involved that would allow you to do this one. The next one is another one, guys, which, as you guys already know, we currently have the alarm setup system where we have it. But in this scenario, the alarm system was actually a mini game, which would make it even more challenging. The way we have it now, the mini game is no longer there. This next one is the zombie actually having a mechanic feature to open the door. So the zombies would not just automatically randomly appear in front of you. They would actually open the door. They would melee it and open the door. And that's because maybe since you don't have melee, the zombies can't have melee. And you guys John Ken Poed it and said, well, I guess we are both lost and we ain't getting no melee. All right, so this next one, guys, is, of course, the physics condition when you would run over stuff. It would actually hit, as you see right there, you're hitting the tire, and the tire would cause the, the movement to happen and have physics involved, but this one doesn't have physics. This next one is actually an item that I thought would be really cool. Very similar to DMZ, where you guys have to go and find stuff, and then this would take you to a secret location. So this is actually a card that was found in the game, which gave you access to a place, a room called 205, which you had to have a red card to be able to get in. And this ties in perfectly because once you would open this door, it would give you restricted access to an underground bunker where you could probably get some really amazing loot. But unfortunately, not only are you missing the card, you're missing the area and you're missing the bunker. So a lot of things have gone missing here. The next thing, guys, is we have the reload indicator, which would be playing a huge viable role in this game because knowing when to reload would be extremely amazing, but apparently that's not in the game. Next, we have a armor workbench, guys, that is currently not present, and we can't have an armory workbench that, shows the items the way this does. So really crazy. The next one, guys, of course, as you guys may know, ray tracing and shadowing and reflexes, that was part of the NVIDIA video that was being showcased. Unfortunately, that is not in the game. The other thing is that if you notice here at the end of the screen, it says that there's going to be DLSS 3, and that is not in the game. Another one that I want to quickly mention is the dismemberment of when you shoot a zombie, the zombie's parts would fall off of him. Apparently the zombies found super glue and their parts no longer fall off, which is very, very interesting. After watching all these examples, now you guys know why everybody was so hyped about this game and why, if any company is watching what's happening with the day before, make a game like this and you will have a ton of people playing it. Just make sure you don't lie and deceive people while you're doing it.